Got
intercepted and returning it back the other way is Jack Burton, and Carolina has a touchdown on a pick six.
Spins out of a sack, throws it to the back of the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown.
So they're like, oh, well, we need real players. Like, oh, okay. So you need a quarterback? Sure.
He's gone, baby. He's gone, baby. My goodness. Somebody cool off that man's feet because they're on fire.
They will throw. King wants it all now, and it's caught! Oh! Touchdown, Chicago!
Unbelievable play. That's got to be number one this week, and we just got started.
People like immersing themselves in all the buildup that goes in with that.
This is going to explode big time.
Welcome south of the border to Estadio Azteca, Mexico City, Mexico. And we've got a great game of SFL action live on Twitch. You are watching the Simulation Football League presented by EPM Music. We are live here in Mexico City. As I mentioned, the Aztecs will be taking on the Alaska Storm. A long trip for the Alaska Storm coming all the way down from up north to do battle today. Eric Vincent alongside Hall of Famer Eddie Gage. And Eddie, this is going to be a great matchup as we get a look at the head-to-head.
What up, though? I am indeed looking forward to this matchup. I can't wait to get started.
And we get a look at the numbers here. Mexico City putting up some serious points here in the early goings of season 13, averaging 37 a game. That's second best in the SFL. Meanwhile, Alaska putting up some serious yardage through the air, 375 yards averaging a game. Eddie, what do you kind of see shaping out here between these two teams?
Well, with the firepower that both of these teams possess, it looks like it's going to be won or lost on the defensive side of the field. So take win-loss columns. We'll see what happens here.
And both these teams, speaking of the win-loss column, both these teams coming in at 2-1. Mexico City riding high on a 2-game win streak. Alaska coming off a loss last week against the Tallahassee Pride. We'll see who comes off on top here because kickoff is next. Mexico City will go ahead and kick the ball off to start things here south of the border. Alaska getting set to receive. Already see some great folks in the chat here tonight as Cole Varner boots it down the field and gets us underway. Fielded right in the center of the end zone there is Alaska, and they will not elect to return it at all as they will bring it out to the 20-yard line. That's Robert Merrill, the kick returner there. Ron Cochran coming out, all 6'2", 205 of them, all 5 seasons with the Alaska Storm. Eddie, what do we have to look forward to here with the Storm offense?
Well, me personally, I'm looking forward to the matchups in the backfield. We'll see what happens here as they start out wide.
Spreading the football out a little bit here as Cochran's going to throw to start things off, and he's got a man over the middle of the field. That is thought that was Optimus Klein there for a hot second. That's actually Jose Galliano with his first catch of the ball game.
Yeah, you want to keep the quarterback's confidence, and they did so there with a short passing route.
And it's very important with any quarterback, really, to make sure that you get those quick passes, get his feet up from under him, get him comfortable in the pocket, especially against this Mexico City defense who likes to wreak havoc. Cochran's going to throw near sideline, tipped and incomplete. He was looking for converted fullback J.W. Doyle in his first season coming over from the Oklahoma City Renegades.
Yeah, he actually had a man open on the middle of the field, but let it go outside.
And while we get a chance here, we'll look at the other stars here on the Storm offense. Robert Merrill, Jeff Como, Optimus Klein, all wide receivers, all have been here 4+ seasons with the Storm. 3rd and 5 now for Cochran. Good pocket, shuffles around, throws it to near sideline, and he got his man. Optimus Klein somehow is able to get the tiptoes inbounds for some toe drag swag and a first down for the Storm.
Yeah, Mexico City actually took away his first 2 reads, decided to go outside and was fortunate enough to get a grab there from his big receiver.
And get a look real quick at the Aztec defense. Guapo Esteban, the undrafted rookie, joining at defensive tackle. Nick Daggs converting from free safety to inside linebacker. Heinz Hayumi and Fran Ogawa are the corners. Pablo Zamora and Jeffrey Daggs are the safeties. As we get our first handoff of the ball game, and that's Stanley Nordellis, as he will find 5 yards up the middle of the field.
He can thank his right guard and center for that play. They squeezed their man inside and got him the running room he needed.
And Nordellis not a huge part of this offense, not one of the stars on this offense. J.W. Doyle, the fullback, the Storm electing the fullback to be that star there, as Cochran is going to throw again. He'll throw it wide open in the middle of the field, and that's Robert Merrill with his first catch, and he will move the sticks once more for the Storm. Coming up with a good drive here to start things off, Eddie.
Yeah, the Mexico City secondary there, they were bailing at the snap of the ball and pretty much giving them anything pretty much short of the field.
Seattle 7, Sioux Falls 0. We'll take a break and be back. We're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports Net.
1st and 10 now from the 33-yard line. 9 minutes left to go here in the opening quarter. Cochran to throw. He's got a man on the far sideline this time. That's Jeff Como with his first catch. And a good gain of 7 there on 1st and 10.
Mexico City, they may be surprised here because Alaska has come out pretty much pass heavy with only one running attempt so far. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make.
So 2nd and 3 now from the 26. Mexico City showing blitz. They will run it here. And that is J.W. Doyle with his first handoff. Not a ton of handoffs, and the Storm team doesn't run the ball very, very often, as they are more of a passing team, only averaging about 53 yards on the ground per game.
Yeah, Mexico City, they can thank their right defensive end for that play. He squeezed them back inside where his help was waiting on him.
And it was a perfect play call there, because you could definitely see that the outside defensive players were working in to keep everything in front of them right there. As the handoff to Nordellis gets just enough for the first down. A good spin move buys them the extra room needed to move the sticks again for Alaska.
Yeah, once again, he got help from his interior lineman there.
Hand it off to start this first series, and a nice run there by Colin Hart.
So into the SFL red zone we go. 1st and 10 from the 19.
And he was off to the race. He already had the speed, and that speed helped the defender and get him.
Taking the snap from the gun, Cochran to throw, tipped in the air and intercepted. Pablo Zamora gets the tip drill as it was popped up in the air. I think the hit jarred it loose there, Eddie, and Pablo Zamora says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that going the other way."
It was a tight window there. He had 3 defenders in the area, and that's just a recipe for a disaster. He's got to look elsewhere.
Yeah, that was definitely a tight window there. Didn't need to throw that football at all. So we now get to see Hall of Famer Matt Wilson trot out and take control of the Mexico City offense deep in his own territory. And they put up a lot of points here, Eddie.
2 wide left, 1 wide right.
And throwing it over the middle of the field, a diving catch by Richard Montague as he gets first down yardage, a good gain of about 15 or 16 yards right off the bat. No, excuse me, just 13. I was giving him too much credit there.
Yeah, the Mike linebacker, he got caught peeking in the backfield. Meanwhile, the ball was going right over his head.
And again, we've seen Matt Wilson throw these little duck passes, at least in the other games that I've called of his. And somehow he gets those ducks to kind of make their way over there. I'm not sure how he does it. As we get a handoff to another Hall of Famer, Ray Bentley, as he moves forward and moves the pile 4 yards out to the 27-yard line.
Now on 1st down and 10.
He got 4 yards, but he could have gotten more his O-line did the job. Once you get one-on-one, you got to make that man miss.
Look out.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with you there. As we get a quick look at the Mexico City offense, we see Matt Wilson and Ray Bentley, both Hall of Famers, K.L. Barrett, Richard Montague, the wide receivers, and 6'7", 265-pounder Mike Dagg at tight end. Wilson to throw out of the backfield. That's Ray Bentley with his first catch, and he will throw a spin move at the defender and makes it very, very close to another first down. 3rd and inches coming up.
Yeah, on that play, Alaska, they brought their weak side linebacker on a blitz, and Ray Bentley was wide open.
So 3rd and inches now from the 33. We'll see if Wilson can convert here. They spread the offense out quite a bit here, so they're definitely going to throw. And Montague able to get the one-handed grab. He was wide open down on the near sideline, and he's already got 25 yards on through the air. Excuse me.
Small defensive call there. The secondary, they were at least 7 yards back of the line of scrimmage at the snap of the ball. They just basically gave them that first down.
Big, sexy number 69, 6'2", 300-pounder down there in the middle. Frank Champion coming over from the Vancouver Legion in the offseason at linebacker. Ryan Davidson, Evan Carroll at corner. Ryan Tobin and Andrew Francis, the safeties for the Storm on defense. Ray Bentley getting another throw out of the backfield there as he gets close to midfield. They'll mark him at the 49 for a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, number 72, he got him an extra 3 yards there with a great block downfield. Anytime your offensive linemen are running that far to the hash marks, you got to give them credit.
So now 2nd and 5. Matt Wilson to throw, good pocket, throws it down towards the near sideline. He's got Ray Bentley again, and Bentley very active in the passing game to start things off. We normally don't see him get a ton of receptions coming out of the backfield. He's usually the workhorse on the ground.
Yeah, the strong safety there, he got caught peeking in the backfield. He came right across his zone, and before he knew it, he ran right past him on a dig route for that first down.
Although I say that, and Ray Bentley got 14 catches for over 100 yards in his last game, so maybe I'm a little incorrect there. A little shovel pass this time to Bentley as he gets about 3 yards. And this little dink and dunk passing attack seems to be working so far against the Storm defense.
And they caught Alex trying to get to the quarterback with the shuttle pass there, and the grab on that ball. I've never been a fan of that shuffle pass, but they got it to work there.
I 100% agree with you. Not my favorite play in the playbook either, as Bentley gets another catch out of the backfield, and he will get a first down this time as the Storm secondary converge on him, but not before he moves the sticks.
And this West Coast offense is working for him. It's doing 2 things. 1, to keep moving the chains, and 2, to keep that defense well rested.
And this has Steve Molinax's fingerprints written all over it, as I recognize a lot of these offensive play calls from his days in Dallas. And he's certainly one of the better offensive minds in the SFL. I formation now, 2 wideouts towards the top of your screen. Wilson to throw. He's going to throw a quick out to Montague. He's got his 3rd catch tonight as he gets about 4 or 5 yards on that play. Good coverage this time by the Storm secondary.
That play is all set up by his ex-receiver running a streak route down the field, and it gets that safety and that corner backing up. Meanwhile, they're getting a nice little 4-yard gain out of it.
2nd down, 3 wideouts, turnaround handoff to Bentley, avoids the tackler, spin move, and he makes it out to the 17-yard line into the SFL red zone for another Aztec first down. And both teams with good drives to start things off, Eddie, but Ray Bentley definitely showing off his repertoire a little bit here.
Yeah, Alex Dominguez, he got faced with a double team, and meanwhile, I didn't catch the other defensive lineman's number, but he got pancaked by someone.
So 1st and 10 now from the 17. So we approach 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Trips towards the bottom of the screen. Wilson to throw. Shuffles in the pocket. He'll throw it towards the middle of the field. And that is caught again by Montague as he gets 3 yards out to the 14-yard line.
Yeah. Alaska, they brought the Mike linebacker on a delayed blitz, and so he had to get rid of it. Well,
And say what you want about Matt Wilson, but he's very, very quick to get rid of the football. He doesn't want to get hit. He's been in the league too long for that. As he gets a handoff this time to Ray Bentley, who surges forward close to the first down marker, but we mark just shy at the 8-yard line. 3rd and inches coming up.
at Mexico City, they're doing a great job of taking care of what the defense is giving them. Soft box, and Ray Bentley is taking advantage of it.
And he's taking advantage of it on the ground and through the air as well, which is probably what's hurting the Storm so much in this particular situation. Is Wilson's going to throw. He's got a wide open Ray Bentley out there. He's got a block, and he's going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
The second time on this drive, number 77 made a great block for Ray Bentley, oncoming defender, and got him that touchdown. He needs to hand that ball off to him.
Yeah, and we'll get another look here. Look at big old 72 rumble out there. It's Manuel Sanchez getting out there and throwing the block that led to the score. Kudos to the big boys up front. They need some love too every now and again, right?
Exactly.
And Cole Varner, the veteran Aztec, will try and nail the extra point here. Good snap, kick is up and away and through. 7-0 your score in favor of the Aztecs, sporting the green uniforms today. 2:03 left to go here in the first quarter, and we've definitely seen some good things from both sides. Unfortunately for the Storm, they had to turn the ball over on their first possession.
You were talking about this newfound offense Mexico City is getting with their new offensive coordinator, Steven. I, too, see some things that he's been employing on this past drive. We'll see how much they stick with it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The long years in Houston, I'm sure that you've seen it many a times out there on the field.
Yes, he's a nemesis.
And Alaska bringing it out to the 20-yard line, the equivalent of a touchback, but I guess they wanted to test the waters a little bit. So 1st and 10, second possession here for the Storm as they come out in an offset I formation. Aztecs loading the box here. Hand off to J.W. Doyle, who sneaks right through the middle of that line and gets a good chunk of 8 yards out to the 28.
Yeah, the quarterback saw the linebacker shift, and the weak side linebacker was now the Mike. He did a good job of identifying that, notifying his center, and got them the yardage that they needed.
See Ashley Jackson, Ray Inola, Achilles Frank, Cizinger X, Father, and much, much more in the chat as Nordellis gets a handoff, and he gets just enough for the first down to move the sticks for the Storm. And Nordellis not really, we've talked about this a little bit, but he's not super active in the running game. That's more for J.W. Doyle in this offense.
Yeah, he has not. He's more of a change of pace back. We'll see how they use him today moving forward.
Another handoff to Nordellis, and this time he gets flattened right at the line. Good play by the Mexico City defensive line. That was actually Daniel Garcia getting in there from his outside linebacker spot, making the play.
Yeah, he ran right into the teeth of that defense.
And I know I've seen Garcia have a couple good games in the couple games that I've called for Mexico City, and he looks like he might have another big one here today. Handoff this time to Doyle, following his blockers, throws a stiff arm, but runs right into the defender. And Pablo Zamora, being that defender, knocks him down. As we get a look here, he's got a couple tackles already and a pick.
He does. Mexico City did them a favor there with that alignment on that linebacker shift. It left them with a weak side over there, and they took advantage of it with that 7-yard run.
And now a 3rd and 3. Mexico City ready for the run this time, though, as Doyle is not able to get anything. Mark him down for no gain as we reach the end of the first quarter of action. 7-0 your score in favor of the Mexico City Aztecs over the Alaska Storm. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We're live on Twitch. tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on Twitch is presented by APM Music, production music library and custom music house, and brought to you in part by Fuel Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Doyle Designs, the official branding partner of the SFL. And by MediaTek Institute. Turn your passion into your profession. Beautiful aerial shots brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage as we get a peek at the beautiful different sceneries and landscapes and everything that Mexico City has to offer here. As we are down in Estadio Azteca, 4th and 3 now, as Alaska has to punt the football away, turn the football over their first possession, second possession, punting it back to the Aztecs, as it is fielded at about the 25-yard line. Surging forward to the 31 is Dags, and that'll be a 1st and 10 coming up for the Aztecs.
Yeah, anytime you can get your punter to get 4.2 seconds of hang time or longer, he's done his job, and he did it there.
Yeah, most definitely, and you know you need it as well with the way that we're seeing block punts more prevalent here in this league. 1st and 10 now from the 31. Wilson to throw. He's got a man. Far sideline, picked off. Good coverage the entire way by the corner, Ryan Davidson, as he just steps right in front of the route and takes it going the other way.
And he ran that route for him. The receiver actually ran an out and up, and Ryan Davidson was on top of that all the way.
Yeah, he was looking for Montague there, but I'm with you, Eddie. It looks like the corner just ran the route better than the receiver, and sometimes that happens, especially when you play good defenses.
Yeah, that was textbook right there. That put a smile on my face.
Oh, I know it. I know it. You playing in that defensive backfield for all those seasons with the Houston Hyenas. 1st and 10 now from the 48. Storm set up in business, hoping to even things up here as Cochran steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle, and almost gave it right back to the Aztecs there as Nick Dags from his inside linebacker spot almost had a gift.
Yeah, it looks like he got a little giddy in the pocket there. He didn't need to. He had time to throw. He actually even had his tailback who ran like a flat route, which is basically parallel to the sidelines, wide open.
I think Cochran might have gotten a little greedy on that play, wanted to get a little bit more yardage than really he needed to. As 2nd and 10 now. Pocket collapsing around him, throws, a diving attempt is incomplete. A couple different Aztecs had an opportunity at it there as Robert Merrill was the intended wide receiver.
Yeah, he might have rushed that throw just a little bit. He led him just a bit too far.
So now a long 3rd down for the Storm here as they're trying to get something on the board. 4 wideouts to work with. Nordellis in the backfield. Cochran under center. He'll drop back. 3-step drop. Throws it from far sideline, and that's complete. Good 13 or 14-yard completion there to Optimus Klein as he just beats the corner and makes the play. Actually, that was Jeffrey Dags out there in coverage, the free safety.
At 6'4", 225, he is a big receiver. And
big dude.
Mexico City was actually a press man there, and he was just able to use his physical size and strength to get that reception.
Yeah, and he beat Hans Hayumi off the line. Jeffrey Dags, unfortunately, had to clean up the mess, and that led to the 1st down there as we get a pass out of the backfield to Doyle as he gets a few yards out to the 28-yard line. So the Storm looking good after that long completion on the last play.
I'm looking forward to see further on as the season goes how Doyle fares in comparison to their ex-fullback, Jason Williams. He's gotten off to a slow start, but lead up to Alaska, they'll get things figured out.
Oh, they always do. They're not 3-time champs for nothing. Cochran to throw, throws it near sideline this time, and he's got Como as he steps out of bounds there. I don't know if they gave him the completion. It's going to be 3rd and 6 coming up here.
I don't think they did. I think they ruled him out of bounds.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think he might have gotten, maybe 1 foot in bounds, but I don't think Alaska is wanting to challenge that. 3 wideouts for Cochran to work with here. Under center, 7-step drop, throws it over the middle of the field, crossing route and incomplete. Good coverage by the Aztecs there, as Cochran kind of raises his hand there and says, my bad, that was on me.
Yeah, Cochran dropped that one, but it's unfortunate because he actually had another receiver. I didn't catch his number, who ran a square in, number 47. Getting there, but number 93 might have had something to say about that, so it would have been a bang play.
Mark Myers, one of the backup tight ends. He's a tall target too, 6'6". Probably could have gotten it up there. As instead we'll see an Aaron DeHude, actually I'm sorry, Aaron DeHude attempt here. His second season in Alaska. 45-yard attempt. Good snap, kick is away, up and through from 45 yards. So Alaska finally on the board as they finally got enough going here to get themselves 3 points.
Those first few points that you score are usually always the toughest, and hopefully it gets Alaska in a rhythm.
And DeHude has the ball teed up here. Be sure to follow the SFL on Twitter at SimulationFL. Use the hashtag #MakeAnImpact, and be sure to spread the word. So we are all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. So be sure to go and check us out. Good return there by Jeffrey Daggs as he makes it out to the 21-yard line with 9:20 to go here in the first half. And it certainly seems like Mexico City has all the momentum here. Despite it being such a close game here, Eddie.
Yeah, hopefully the quarterback got a good talking to on the sidelines by his offensive coordinator and cleans up the mistake he made before that play.
So 1st and 10 now for Matt Wilson. He's got Ray Bentley, sidecar left in the gun. High snap, he'll take it, throws it down to Bentley. Bentley's got some room coming out of the backfield. Good spin move, avoids the corner there, as he is then stood up by the linebacker for a gain of 8 down to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, once again, the corner was playing 10 yards off the ball. In fact, he even missed a tackle coming back up to get Ray Bentley. But fortunately, his buddies came over there and helped him out. Mexico City is just basically taking what we'll see if they make some adjustments moving forward.
Yeah, that Aztecs certainly seem content just taking what the defense has given them. And Alaska's definitely giving them the dink and dunk here as they come out in an I formation this time. Wilson will hand off to Bentley, sneaks through the line of scrimmage, but boy, did he pay for it as he got a talking to from Andrew Francis, knocking him down to the turf.
Pay for it indeed, but Alex Dominguez, he is getting double teamed on practically every play.
Probably why we haven't seen or heard a whole lot of Big Sexy today, because normally he's wrecking shop in the backfield. But you were absolutely right. He's just getting all sorts of double teams tonight. Wilson, another quick throw out to the sidelines, and he's got Mike Daggs towards the far sideline for another first down.
Yeah, and he can thank his O-line for that completion. Alex was actually had single covers against him that time, but the center did a great job of holding his ground.
I saw that as well. And another big thing about this kind of dink and dunk game, quick passes. Gets the ball out of Wilson's hands and doesn't give Big Sexy any time to get into the backfield. Hand off to Bentley, another spin move, and there's Big Sexy right there. He got tired of having zeros on the stat column, throws Ray Bentley down for a loss there.
Yes, he does. And Alex, he can thank his right defensive end for that play too, because he did a great job of keeping his outside shoulder free, bringing Ray Bentley back in towards the help of the defense.
High formation, 2nd and 10. Hand off to Bentley, trying to find some room. Squirts through a tackler, another spin move, and is able to get into the second level of the defense out to the 38-yard line of the Storm for another first down.
Yeah, once again, Alaska with a soft box. Perhaps they were thinking pass on his 2nd and long. Ran a trap to the left. Off tackle to the left, and he was gone.
And explain to the viewers what you mean by a soft box.
They have 3 defensive linemen on the field, perhaps they're thinking pass, thinking maybe they may come out with a pass happy offense, but Mexico City's doing a great job of keeping things balanced, keeping Ray involved. Gang. Unfortunately, this time for them it didn't work out so much.
Yeah, not this time. And Ray gets a handoff for a loss there, 2-yard loss, which I think is probably the worst carry he's had all day as Mason Nett gets in there and knocks him down in the backfield.
Mike and Jack linebacker had no one. Not a single lineman got to him, and they were able to take advantage of that and clean up.
And he's got a complete out to K.L. Barrett for his first catch, so it's a 3rd and 4 now coming up for the Aztecs.
Pretty manageable and field goal range. You don't want to do anything silly here. We'll see how Mexico City handles it.
3 wideouts for Wilson to work with. Takes a short drop, throws it quickly towards the far sideline, and he's got his man complete. And I believe that's Miracle Montague with another catch to move the sticks out to the 23-yard line.
It was a dangerous throw. He had a safer throw to this X receiver, but decided to go there. But fortunately for Mexico City, they got the first down.
And sometimes that'll happen where you kind of just scratch your head and you're wondering what they're kind of looking at. But Wilson able to make it happen as he gets a shovel pass there. Ooh, a nice little juke move by Ray Bentley as he's able to get a few extra yards out of the little shovel pass there, out to the 15-yard line into the SFL red zone. 2nd and short coming up.
I didn't catch the number, but it was 50-something. He got shooken right out of his jockstrap.
Oh, he did, yes. No ankles for him. They're gone. I formation this time for Wilson. 2nd and short as we approach 5 minutes to go here in the half. Bentley trying to get out of the first tackler and does not, as he gets thrown to the turf right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, in the red zone, yards are hard to come by, and Alaska stacking the box. The tackle on Ray Bentley there for it looks like no gain.
Offset eye this time, and instead they're going to throw it to Ray Bentley out of the backfield again. No one quickly covering him at all, and he's able to get the necessary yardage out to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal.
1st and goal indeed. He had linemen in front of him. If he could have just remained patient, a la that back that used to play for Pittsburgh Steelers, he could have made something more out of that.
Ah, yes, old Le'Veon, the king of patience himself. Bunch wide receivers towards the bottom of the screen. 1st and goal. Wilson electing to go towards the opposite end there, and he's got K.O. Barrett. No, he doesn't have K.O. Barrett. It looks like he might have been bobbling it as he went out of bounds. It's incomplete. 2nd and goal.
They ruled him out. It was open, too.
He was wide open. No one was anywhere near him. Wilson takes the snap. He's going to throw it over the middle. Wide open. Touchdown, Aztecs. Montague with an easy one there as the Aztecs extend their lead.
Yeah. That was a nice play design. They had the tailback flash to the sidelines, and that drew the attention of number 95, and he threw the ball right where he just left.
And again, we were talking about that. All these play calls that you're kind of seeing here, this is how Stephen Molinax likes to run his offense. And boy, he's doing a good job of it today against the champs.
Yeah, with 3:55 left in the half, Alaska needs to put a drive together, try to, some spirited offense together going. They don't want this thing to get ugly and get away from them.
No, and it's definitely going to do that here. Unless they get something on the board, because touchdowns outscore field goals, in case anyone didn't realize that. Eric Vincent alongside the Hall of Famer Eddie Gage here in Mexico City as the Aztecs up by 11 on the champion Storm. Cole Varner booting it downfield with 3:55 left to go here in the half. We'll have to see if Alaska has any magic in their hats currently before we get to the half, as Merrill brings the football out to the 24-yard line, and that's where Cochran and company will take over.
With all 3 timeouts and 3:50 left in the half, they got plenty of time to put a drive together. No need to rush things here. Get some confidence going, short throws perhaps, take what the defense gives you, and get some points on the board.
First and 10, Cochran turnaround handoff. He's got Nordellis, who's got plenty of room as he makes it out to the 33-yard line, where Zamora tackles him again. And a good run there by the halfback to get 9.
Yeah, the left defensive end, he made that hole happen on his own. He was rushing after the quarterback. Meanwhile, the tailback was running right by him.
Tight formation here for the Storm on 2nd and 1. 2 backs in the backfield. Cochran under center. Handoff. It's going to be the Doyle. Doyle running backwards and can't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by the Aztec defense as they nail him in the backfield there. That's Ogawa on the tackle.
Yeah, the defensive tackle there forced that out wide, and they cleaned it up. He definitely made the play.
Aztec faithful on their feet. 3rd and 4 now for the Storm. Handoff, and that's Nordellis trying to get enough for the first down. He shifts his way forward and does move the sticks. Tackle made by Zamora again, but not before the Storm moved the sticks.
They may have caught in Mexico City napping there. And actually, the center got a great block on the Mike linebacker, stonewalled him, and they were able to get that first down.
Nick Dagg's usually pretty light on his feet, converting from free safety. So that's certainly a little different from his regard. Play action pass tipped up in the air and incomplete. As I was talking about Nick Daggs, he had an opportunity there, an interception, and couldn't quite reel it in. 2nd down.
Yeah, the play action game has always been a staple of Alaska's offense, and prepared for it. They jumped all over that route.
One of the few teams that do kind of use play action. It's a little rare in the Simulation Football League, isn't it?
It is. You don't see it run as much. I've seen a few teams try to start doing it based off the success that Alaska has, so we'll see if it gets utilized more.
Sometimes teams will just kind of set trends, and, you got to keep up with what the champs are doing, so I can't necessarily blame them there as we hit the 2-minute warning here in Mexico City. 14-3 the score in favor of the Aztecs. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on Twitch. Third and 9 coming up for the Storm here. 4 wideouts for Cochran to work with. He's got Nordellis in the backfield. Cochran to throw. Pocket collapsing around him. He's going to throw near sideline. He's got Como. That's Merrill actually down there, and he doesn't quite have enough for the first down. Mexico City doing a great job making sure he didn't reach the sticks there, Eddie. Great
job indeed. He actually had to wait for the play to develop. He tried to give him all the time he could. He held that ball as the corners were pretty much bailing, hoping that he had time to make that completion cut upfield. But again, the corners with that, they were showing off that closing speed, were able to get him before he got to the first down marker.
And Mexico City electing not to use any of their timeouts, so Alaska going to go ahead and bleed that play clock all the way down before booting the football down the field. Field at about the 15-yard line. That's Jeffrey Daggs. A couple good spin moves there and gets him some good yardage out to the 28-yard line as he was pretty much dead to rights back there, but makes something out of nothing.
And you talk about showing his versatility. He wants to get on the field and get that ball in his hands. That man wants a new contract.
He's a dangerous return man, too. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife when it comes to returning football, so you certainly don't want to hit it anywhere near him.
Absolutely.
1:07 left to go. Both teams with all 3 timeouts to work with. Wilson going to hand it off to Bentley, who is wrapped up right near the line of scrimmage. He'll get a couple on the play as we creep inside of a minute to go.
Yeah, number 51, he stopped that from becoming an even bigger play because that had daylight written all over it.
Oh, and you know how Ray Bentley likes to operate as well, as we get a look at Matt Wilson's numbers, as he's been looking very, very good today, very efficient, passing for 2 touchdowns.
And what the defense is giving him.
Yes, sir. Another handoff to Ray Bentley. Bentley throwing a stiff arm, but man, he got suplexed into the ground there as he quickly gets up and calls a timeout. Ryan Tobin coming and laying the lumber on him.
And the same man who got tackled is the same man who made the play, which has surprised me because he got absolutely baptized on that play.
Oh, yes, sir. Man. And again, it was one of those plays you're looking at it develop and you're thinking that he has some room, and then whoop, he just, man, right into the turf. He's not going anywhere. 3rd and short now, 34 seconds frozen on the clock as Mexico City burned the timeout there. Bentley could not keep his feet in bounds long enough to get the first down, as that will stop the clock right at 30 seconds. And man, he's getting an earful on the sideline there from the coaching staff.
You know why? He actually should be giving his quarterback an earful because he had all kinds of time. Once again, double teamed by the center, and I believe it's the right guard. He had all kinds of time back there.
Another good punt here, as we've seen plenty of good punts already this afternoon. Good hang time as Robert Merrill is able to bring it out just a couple yards out to the 29-yard line, where they'll have 22 seconds to work with. I don't think that's enough time to necessarily do anything with the football, especially being on your own 29-yard line, Eddie.
I don't think so either. They have all 3 timeouts, but we'll see how risky the offensive coordinator decides to play things here. But they're coming out with 5 wide.
They are down by 11, so they might want to see if they can get some points on the board. Cochran under center. He'll take the snap. Steps up, throws deep into coverage and incomplete. He certainly didn't do Como any favors there, as he threw that football into about triple coverage, maybe quadruple coverage.
Yeah, Como's going to be giving him the side eye walking back to that huddle.
Uh-huh. And look at who was in coverage there. The former free safety, Nick Daggs, as he tips it up in the air and then throws him down to the ground. Great play there by the inside linebacker.
Yeah, he reminds me a bit of Brian Urlacher, the Hall of Fame Chicago Bear. He converted from safety to inside linebacker, made a Hall of Fame career out of it.
And the Aztecs are hoping that Daggs can do the same here as the Storm come out an offset eye. Doyle's going to get the handoff. Does not go north or south, though. Instead goes east and west. And guess who? Daggs coming in there making a stop.
Once again, what I talked about earlier, that versatility. Dropping back in coverage and also stout enough to stop the run.
And the Storm not going to have enough time to get anything on the scoreboard here, as they are down 11 going into the locker rooms to the Mexico City Aztecs. We reach halftime. 2K Sports halftime show coming up here in Mexico City. And we will go ahead and roll that footage right there. Eddie, any thoughts as we go into halftime?
I'd like to see what kind of adjustments that Mexico City's defensive coordinator is going to make. He's given too much cushion to these receivers with a soft box. It's just pitch and catch for these receivers.
And as we get a look at that first interception there, the drive killer, because the Storm were looking good there on that first possession, but just an ill-advised throw by Cochran ended up being tipped up in the air and intercepted.
Indeed, they were, and that's the kind of routes they don't need to be running versus this defensive front and this secondary, the way they're playing off the ball.
And then Matt Wilson with an ill-advised throw of his own there, as Montague wasn't even looking back for the ball, and that was easy pickings for Ryan Davidson going the other way.
Yeah, Ryan Davidson, once again, he's a veteran in this league, and he read that all away.
Only points on the board courtesy of Aaron DeHood, as he has all 3 of those points. Aztecs have 2 touchdowns on the board courtesy of Matt Wilson.
$60 yards rushing in the first half of Mexico City. Alaska's going to have to find a way to get that cleaned up.
as we get a look at beautiful Estadio Azteca here in Mexico City. Both teams coming out of the locker room, getting warm-ups going. And what's worse here for the Storm is that they received the opening kickoff, so they will have to boot it downfield to the Aztecs to start things off here in the second half. So that defense going to have to step up here and make sure that no further points get on the board.
As a former defender, I don't mind it. Give us a chance to go out there and make a statement, get this offensive motivated.
Absolutely, and that's the mindset if you're a defender as well, is just, hey, let's just go out there, let's take care of business, and let's see if we can light a fire under the offense a little bit here. So we'll see if that can actually happen here for the Storm. They've got a good defense there in Alaska under owner Max Ball, leading the way in most categories here in this football game. So we'll have to see what they do here as Ray Bentley gets a handoff and gets leveled pretty much as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage. That's Frank Champion, the former Legion, coming over and making the stop.
He did, but one thing Alex Dominguez did at that time, he actually got pressure and pushed that center back, and that pretty much alleviated any running lane that Ray Bentley had.
Offset I formation this time. Wilson to throw. He's going to quickly throw it out to Ray Bentley, and they've had some success with this play, and not this time, though, as they couldn't quite get a clean block from the offensive lineman out there on the edge to seal it, so it only ends up being a gain of 3.
As a defender, you love to see that activity. There were 3 guys flying to the ball to make that tackle.
Pursuit is key with any defense. So anytime that you're seeing guys flying around, it doesn't matter if they're making a mistake or not, but defense, you got to have pursuit. As Wilson is going to throw, he's got Dags beyond the first down marker, but he comes back to the football, and they're going to mark him shy. 4th and inches coming up for the Aztecs, as Dags unfortunately had to come back and grab that ball.
He did, but he has no one to blame but himself. Dags ran like a 5-yard hitch route, caught the pass. All he had to do was pretty much make himself what they call dead weight, turn around, run straight up field. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that, and now as a result of it, his team is forced to punt.
All you got to do is just fall backwards at that point, but couldn't quite make that happen. 4th down for the Aztecs, as the Storm will field the punt at about the 30-yard line. They'll get maybe a couple yards out of the return, and that is where Ron Cochran and company will take over. So the defense did their job here, 3 and out, and now they got the football back.
That's right. Defense make a statement. Offense, you go capitalize.
And we'll see if that is the case here, as Cochran looking bad in that visor. I've always loved that visor there, as he's got bunched wide receivers towards the top of the screen. He shuffles in the pocket. He's going to toss it down to Nordellis. And, man, Mexico City just had all of that covered. Great play there by the secondary, as Hans Hayumi makes a great open field tackle.
I didn't see anyone open on that play either. You're right.
No, that is definitely a coverage play right there. Hats off to the Aztecs for making that stop, as it ends up being a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Two backs in the backfield for Cochran, who's under center. Hand off to J.W. Doyle, who's got plenty of room as he makes his way out to the 39-yard line for a good chunk of yards. And it's going to be 3rd and manageable coming up for the Storm.
At number 93, Nick Dags, he actually didn't do his team any favors. He could not beat the one-on-one and got pushed pushed backwards a few yards and made that running play possible.
Cochran 7-step drop. He's going to toss it over the middle of the field. I'm not sure why he was throwing it there to his tight end. He had a guy on the crossing route, didn't see him, and it's going to be 4th down.
Right, he had Robert Merrill wide open. You're right. On a little 7 route, it looked like it was, and that would have been a 1st down. But instead, Alaska will be punting here.
And honestly, just from where our vantage point is, I thought that's where he was throwing the ball. And then I saw it kind of tail back into the middle of the field. And I was like, oh, no, that wasn't where I was thinking you were going with it.
Yeah. Robert Merrill's on the sideline right now, giving his quarterback an earful.
As he should. Dags with the fair catch at the 24-yard line. Aztecs going to take over once again. Both teams with their first possession, both teams coming up short. We'll see what the Aztecs can do here, up 11.
And they may want to get back to that running game.
And, you know, I was thinking the same thing, that there's been a lot of screen passes for Ray Bentley, but I think you should probably just turn him on the ground a little bit here. But instead, they're going to throw another pass out of the backfield. He's got a blocker, good spin move, and buys him a couple more yards before he's tackled at the 31.
And he can thank number 66, his right guard, to make that play. He got him a great block. Yards. I'm sorry, that was his right tackle, excuse me.
Yeah, Daniel Martinez, 6'7", 304. This is a big dude there. Second and 4 now from the 31. Offside eye for Wilson and company. He's changing things up at the line, not liking something. Takes the snap. He's going to throw it over the middle of the field. Good soft defense there as he's able to find K.L. Barrett for the first down.
The quarterback saw something, and what he saw was that safety. I believe he ran straight. I'm sorry, the weak side linebacker, he ran to cover the outside the numbers, and meanwhile, the receivers running a slant route, converted that first down.
3 wideouts this time. Wilson stepping out of the pocket. He's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Big number 75 getting in there and wrecking shop. That's Charles Walker III with his first sack of the evening.
Yeah, with all that talent up front, you got Big Sexy drawing those double teams. Their job as the DN is to win those one-on-one matchups, and fortunately for Alaska, they were able to do that there.
Second and 13, Wilson has time. He'll throw it over the middle, wide open. Richard Montague, as he gets plenty of yardage, for the first down, out to the Alaska 41.
Yeah, that's the first time I can remember in quite some time they decided to go to an intermediate route, and he was wide open. Fooled Alaska, too, because they did not see that coming.
No, they certainly didn't. I also want to bring to everybody's attention that the reason you're seeing 11 Sports everywhere is that the Simulation Football League actually signed a deal with 11 Sports within the last couple days. So we will be broadcasting on their networks, their series of networks here in the coming days. Had a little bit of technical difficulties early on, so we had to switch this game over to the SFL's Twitch channel. But just so everyone is kind of aware why you're seeing 11 everywhere. It's a huge deal. I'm definitely looking forward to it, Eddie.
As am I. This league is about to blow up.
100%. Got to look out for it. It's going to be everywhere. And Udanja down there in the chat, I'm seeing, don't forget about ScoreStream. Check all your SFL scores today. Absolutely. ScoreStream being the official scoring app of the SFL. And Mike Daggs getting first down yardage out to the 30-yard line, moving the sticks for the Aztecs.
He did. He actually ran that out route, and he reminded me why. He reminded me that he's 6'7", 265, because it seems like it took him forever to catch that ball and turn the corner. But as big as he is, you can see why.
He's huge. I mean, tight ends aren't small guys, but even for a tight end, he's big.
Yeah, 265 is huge for a tight end. He's about a sandwich away from being a right tackle.
Right? That's kind of what I think every time I see him. Like, oh, man, it's a good thing your mama blessed you with hands, because, you'd be on the line if that wasn't the case. 12 catches for Ray Bentley, only 65 yards, but he's gotten a touchdown through the air as well.
Been those chains moving, Eric.
Yes, sir. 2nd and 7, I formation this time. Wilson to throw, and he gets sacked immediately. Didn't have any time at all. And that's that same defensive lineman there. That's Charles Walker III with his second sack of the evening.
Yeah, both on this drive. His first read was not open. And as you saw him turn his head to look for the out route, he was already on the ground.
Just didn't have any time at all. Picking up the slack for Big Sexy, who's been double teamed and triple teamed tonight. 3rd and 10 now for the Aztecs. In the empty, he's going to throw it over the middle of the field. Got a man. And that is Mike Daggs once again, but marked just shy of the first down marker at the 21. It'll be 4th down, and we'll see a Cole Varner field goal attempt.
Yes, that right there was a staple of the Mexico City offense of old. Everyone running those slants to the inside makes it hard for the defense. It puts a lot of pressure on those safeties, and sure enough, put them in better position to make this field goal.
38-yard attempt, high snap, and man, did he get some air underneath that ball. Up and through, plenty of room for Cole Varner as he stretches the lead to 14.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It was as if he was kicking a chip shot. He put so much air underneath that ball.
I was not expecting that. I mean, look at how high he got that. And it's his old school kicking style that I'm sure does that. He just gets underneath the football. But man, oh man, that's crazy.
You normally see heights of the ball like that on an extra point or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much of a kick of that distance. But
no, that's almost a 40-yarder.
Yeah, he wanted to assure that no one got a hand on that ball.
Alaska taking a knee in the end zone there, bring it out to the 20-yard line. That is where Cochran will take over, down 2 scores. And in danger of going on a 2-game losing streak as they lost their previous contest to the Tallahassee Pride, who they've had some struggles against at times. Certainly not in the playoffs, though, as they are the back-to-back-to-back SFL champions.
Indeed, I won't count Alaska out of this competition just yet.
No, way too early for that. 7-step drop for Cochran, throwing it deep, and he's got a man back behind the defense, beats the first defender before Zamora brings him down all the way at the Mexico City 43. It's almost as if Ron Cochran was listening to us, right?
You got that right, and right on cue. I think that cornerback, he had outside leverage on there. He was guarding outside the numbers. He didn't get the help he needed to stop that post route from happening.
Yeah, and it's hard when you're defending the post route, and obviously, like you said, you've got outside leverage. There's no way that you're then going to be able to shift to cover the inside route, and that's pretty much exactly what happened there. Hit the nail on the head there, Eddie.
Yeah, the athleticism these receivers display.
Unreal, absolutely unreal. J.W. Doyle only getting about a half yard on that play as Mexico City making a good play. That's Hantayumi coming up and making the stop. Only a gain of a yard. 2nd out.
Yeah, once again, their right defensive end got pushed inside, but fortunately for them, their Will and Mike linebacker both were able to contain and get over there and make that tackle.
And Doyle just not having a ton of success on the ground at all as Daniel Garcia gets in and makes the stop this time. 3rd and 6 coming up.
3rd and 6, not quite what you want, but at this point, 3rd and 6, need their defensive ends to put some pressure on his quarterback.
Only 4 down linemen, electing to have more linebackers and defensive backs this time around. Cochran going to throw near sideline. He's got Optimus Klein, but Klein left the route short there, as he is not going to move the sticks on that play. 4th down coming up.
And they weren't able to take advantage of that soft cushion he gave them, and as a result of it, they're going to have to punt.
Actually, looks like they're going to keep the offense out on the field. I like this call here.
Like it too. Let's see if they're going to snap it.
Mexico City gearing up for the run, too. They're stacking the box. We'll see if they actually snap the football here with 5 on the clock.
Doesn't look like it.
Now, Alaska's going to burn a timeout there, and you're right, Eddie. They're going to have to punt here. They're in no man's land, unfortunately for them.
Looks like they thought about it, but once that strong side linebacker, the Sam linebacker they called him, he came over and filled the A gap and took over as the Mike. He pretty much filled up those holes, and they decided to take a timeout and punt this ball.
And I'm sure that's what Cochran is explaining to Max Paul over there on the sideline. It actually looks like they're going to trot out Aaron DeHude here, and he's going to attempt a long field goal. This is going to be from 51. High snap, gets it down. It is up, and it is through from 51 yards. Very impressive kick by DeHude as he gets 3 more points on the board.
Figures matter. He was able to remain calm through that high snap, got the ball down, and was able to power that one through.
I just didn't think they were going to trot out anybody that far back, but I suppose they are. Eric Vincent alongside Eddie Gage, the Hall of Famer here tonight, as we are down south of the border in Mexico City. The champs down by 11 to the Aztecs, as they will get another crack here. Jeffrey Daggs returning the football out across the 20-yard line to the 23, and that is where Matt Wilson will take over.
Yeah, Matt Wilson, you'd like to see them get a long drive together and put some doubt in the minds of Alaska. We'll see what happens here.
In Mexico City, you've touched on this plenty of times, Eddie, but just taking what the defense is giving them here, a lot of just short passing plays, a lot of it coming to Ray Bentley coming out of the backfield as he dots the I on this play. Instead, they're going to throw to K.L. Barrett. Again, short little pass, 4 yards, but it keeps him moving downfield.
On cue, second and manageable, 4-yard gain. And keeps the defense rested.
So get a look at Charles Walker the third there, 2 sacks on the evening. Both on the same drive, in fact. Offset I formation this time for the Aztecs. Free play as Laundry is out on the field, and Matt Wilson dishing it off to Ray Bentley, who has plenty of room out towards that far sideline. They will not take the penalty and will, in fact, just take the yardage.
Yeah, you wonder, well, he had, I think, his tight end running a seam route. And on a free play like that, I would like to see him go up top there.
Very rarely do you see that happen, too. For whatever reason, they just don't recognize that it's the free play. You just toss it downfield. Instead, they just kind of run the regular play, which you know, you kind of understand. You're just running the play, the plays as the playbook kind of designates. So I totally get that. But I'm 100% with you, Eddie. I'd much rather them just toss it downfield.
Exactly.
Wilson short drop, throws it over the middle of the field. That's Mike Daggs as he reaches back for the football and crosses out to the 49-yard line of Alaska as we get another look at that play.
Yeah, little short, couldn't tell if it was a slant route or a crossing route, but he was wide open.
It honestly could have been a little...
Yeah.
Oh, he did, yes. It honestly could have been any route, though. Like, it could have been a seam, it could have been a cross, it could have... We have no idea what he was actually running there, but got him the football nonetheless. Wilson, pressure coming. He'll throw it over the middle quickly, and he's got his receiver out across the first down marker to the 38-yard line. A good play there by Jamie Hernandez. Actually, it's probably pronounced Jaime Hernandez, as he makes it out to the 38.
Yeah, once again, a staple of Mexico City's offense of old. They had 3 guys on the right, all running slant routes, and threw it to the guy underneath, and the 2 in front were suddenly becoming blockers, helping him get downfield.
Ray Bentley going nowhere on the ground that time, and a good play was made by the defensive lineman. Actually, that was one of the linebackers, Jason Julian, getting in there and making the stop, bringing the third quarter to an end as the Aztecs have an 11-point lead on the champion Alaska Storm, 17-6. As we move into the final quarter of play, get your 4s up. We're ready for the fourth quarter. Four wide receivers, empty set this time for Wilson. Has plenty of time. He'll throw it over the middle into coverage and incomplete. Frank Champion jarring the football loose from Gonzalez, and that'll bring up 3rd and long.
That was a dangerous pass. That ball should have been thrown about a second earlier. They were open and decided to pat the ball for some reason.
Well, the extra defensive back on the play was I.B. Lurkin, and he had a shot at the football for sure.
Yes, he did.
Don't you love some of these games, or some of these names that you see out here?
I.B. Lurkin, A.A. Rod.
Yes. Trips towards the top of the screen on this long 3rd down. Quick pass, wide open in the middle of the field is Mike Daggs, and he took a licking there from Ryan Tobin, who came up from the free safety spot, but they'll move the sticks nonetheless out to the 26.
Yeah, speaking of adjustments, Mexico City, they seem to have, in the second half, gone to the offensive O, and I'm not sure this was by design or what, but it's working. It's almost as if they're sharing responsibilities as the offensive coordinator, each putting in their own, key plays that they like to execute.
Yeah, it does seem like a little bit of a mixed bag, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Wilson's going to sidearm it, and he somehow completes it to K.L. Barrett. There were two defenders there that could have easily knocked it down. Instead, they're going to move the sticks into the SFL red zone. First down.
At Wilson, you got to give him credit. He stood tall in the pocket. Alex Dominguez was breathing down his neck. He did not flinch and got that ball out of there.
Bunch wide receivers towards the top of the screen. Wilson under center. He's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Didn't have any time to even think as Big Sexy finally breaks through and gets a sack on the evening.
He did not, and just as I said that to make him look good, Alex comes right back at one-on-one coverage and is able to make the play.
Well, and you can't miss him either. Big number 69, Alex Dominguez, wreaking havoc in the backfield there. 2nd and 13. Wilson to throw. High throw there to K.L. Barrett, who makes the grab before Champion drags him down at the 9. 3rd and 7 coming up now.
He made the grab, but he had Mike Daggs open for a safer throw.
It's easy for us to say while we're sitting here in this climate-controlled booth and, watching it down there.
You're absolutely right.
3 wideouts on this 3rd and 7. Wilson going to throw it down to the near sideline, and that is caught for a first down. Gonzalez making up for the play earlier as he is dragged down just outside of the goal line. 1st and goal.
If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Once again, 3 wide receivers on the left running a slant route.
Stormer crowding the box this time around, anticipating a run. Bentley's offset. He somehow finds a hole and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
Touchdown, Aztecs. Indeed. Mexico City has took control of this game. Their offensive line has been doing their job. They better get a game ball.
Well, and I don't know if you saw that, but Mike Daggs actually comes out and makes the seal block there, enabling.
Yeah, I saw that on the replay.
Yes, I didn't see it initially, but I saw it on the replay. Shout out to Mike Daggs getting the block in there.
He did.
Pending extra point here from Cole Varner, up and through. 24-6. This score, and I remember I had the week 1 broadcast for Mexico City, and they did not look good against Baltimore. They looked like they laid an egg, and I'll get back to that in just a second here as Queen City and Oklahoma City are set to do battle on the 11 Sports Network coming up at 9 Central Time, 10 Eastern tonight, and then we've got 3 ball games tomorrow, all Central Time, 5 o'clock Central, and then another at 7 o'clock Central. Be sure to stay tuned to the 11 Sports Network and 11 Sports Next, their Twitch channel there, for those upcoming games. And, as I was kind of talking about before we got the broadcast schedule there, Mexico City was looking a little flat, and we were kind of wondering, maybe there was going to be some growing pains with Stephen Molinex. And not the case now, as they've won 2 straight in command of their 3rd. As Cochran throws it down to the near sideline, that's Optimus Klein, who gets stood up and dragged down at the 26. What do you think, Eddie?
Yeah, they took a beating, like you said, that first game versus Baltimore, and they had plenty of people, the writers, people in the chat, everyone was wondering, oh boy, what's going on in Mexico City? But they have since wrote and got things cleaned up. Every new offense takes time, and it looks like they were able to figure things out. But this league, as you all know, people tend to, and there's only a matter of time before someone catches on to it and they have to make another adjustment. But that's the beauty of this league where anything can happen.
As a catch by Mark Myers moves the sticks for the Storm. 1st and 10 from the 35. Just inside of 7.5 minutes left to go here in the ball game. Cochran going to throw far sideline, got it complete, and dragged out of bounds. That was Han Tayumi on the coverage. Gain of 7, 2nd down.
And just as important, he got the clock stopped.
Clock stopping momentarily and then rolling as soon as they break the huddle. Into about 7 minutes to go here as Cochran swings it out to Nordellis, who gets close to that 1st down marker. They're going to mark him just shy, though. And kudos to the referees for keeping it consistent, because that has happened so many times this evening, it seems. And every time they've marked him just shy.
Yeah, that was close. I think they got that call right, though.
I think so. Also, I think they've gotten it right pretty much the entire game, and we'll call it 3rd and a chest hair from the 45. Turnaround handoff to Nordellis, who squeaks through the line of scrimmage, able to get just enough for the 1st down out to the 47.
He did. He doesn't look like a terribly big back either, but he was able to lower his pass there and get that 1st down.
And I just saw this in the chat, but Steve Molnack's saying, hey, don't forget that's Alaska on the other side of the football. The game isn't over until you reach triple zeros.
It is not over.
And
Definitely
he is
not over.
100% correct, yes. Handoff, Nordellis trying to find some room as he gets out to midfield, where they were marking him down as a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
He showed some shiftiness there. There was a defender right in his lap, but he was able to sidestep and get a couple of yards out of that play.
There's some other shenanigans going on in the chat that I don't necessarily want to throw out here on a live broadcast. Cochran to throw. He's going to throw the far sideline. He's got Optimus Klein, and he's going to get close to another 1st down. They're going to mark him just shy. 3rd and 1 as Tayumi was out there on coverage, as well as Dan Ramirez, one of the extra defensive backs.
I'm interested to see if they're going to start this clock up because his forward progress was stopped on the last one. And yet again was stopped on this one, which is probably why they started that clock back up.
Yeah, Alaska's got to get their foot on the gas here in a hurry, though. They're running out of time. That's 3rd and 1 handoff, and that's J.W. Doyle this time getting the handoff as he'll cut across to the 38-yard line, 5.5 to go in the ball game.
I'm interested to see how many carries he's gotten today because I don't think he's really been heavily involved in his offensive scheme today.
He is not, no. It's definitely been more of the passing attack or the air attack that we've seen from the Storm typically. As Cochran takes a short drop, he's going to throw opposite way, and that's picked off going the other way. Yeah, that's going to be an easy pick 6. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Fran Ogawa.
That had pick 6 written all over it. He came out, I don't know if that was too hard or too soft, but he read that play like a book, read the quarterback's eyes, and took off the moment he threw his arm back to release it.
Oh, man, he gone. Like, he was gone the second. And sure enough, we were just talking about this. J.W. Doyle not really getting involved in the offensive game plan. Looking that way, and, man, Ogawa was ready for it as he just took off.
I'm not sure if he saw something in film or what, but he knew he had safety help over the top, and he squatted back, took his 3 steps backwards. 3-step drop, he knows that ball has to come out. He squatted, read the quarterback's eyes, and took off.
And man, I think that pretty much seals the deal there as the extra point is up and good, 31-6 now. At some point, it becomes insurmountable, even for Max Paul and company, and it's just looking that way right now, Eddie.
With 5 minutes left in the game and a 25-point deficit, that's a tall tale for any offense to overcome.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we'll see if they can save face a little bit here, maybe get some scores on the board here in the last few minutes of the ball game as Varner boots it downfield. Storm are going to take it out. It's Robert Merrill with the with the return, excuse me, out to the 22-yard line with exactly 5 minutes left to go here in the ballgame.
Yeah, the game may be over, but you still want to work on some things, work on different route combinations, maybe some different personnel, see what works, try some different wrinkles, and see if you can catch anything on film that might catch the coach's eye.
Three wideouts for Cochran to work with. He's under center. Nordellis offset in the backfield. Cochran to throw quickly over the middle of the field. That's caught. And that's going to be a good gain of 7 or 8 yards out to the 30-yard line. And they'll run a little no huddle here. Catch made by Galliano. Cochran to throw again. He'll throw it over the middle of the field again, and that's Galliano once again, this time for a first down out to the 42-yard line.
O-line got on that first down.
Good protection there. Cochran again, pump fakes, pressure coming in his face, able to thread the needle, and again, another first down, this to Optimus Klein. Where is this all game long?
Well, Mexico City is bailing. They're playing the clock.
That's 100% true. This time Cochran throws far sideline, and that is incomplete as he throws it in coverage, and a good play by Mexico City to stop the clock there at 4:14.
Yeah, Mexico City's corners, they're bailing. They're playing the clock. They're just trying to keep everything in front of them. Their biggest enemy right now isn't necessarily Alaska, but more so the clock. They're just trying to keep everything in front of them, keep that clock ticking, and get this game over with. Trying to come out the game with everyone healthy.
4 wideouts. Cochran under center. Pressure coming. He's going to throw it far sideline, and that is incomplete as it was intended for, Jeff Como, and he was way out of bounds. Couldn't quite reel that in.
And that defender on the play, he got jealous of that pick six. He played the same route combination, saw the same pattern, and he squatted on the ball too, but he wasn't athletic enough to get over there and make that play.
I saw this stat in here. Old Orb Dad himself, Ray Bentley. Mexico City hasn't scored under 26 points this season.
Oh, that's impressive.
That's a wow. That's a wow right there. Cochran able to throw the football into coverage. That's Robert Merrill with the catch, moving the sticks into the SFL red zone. 1st and 10 from the 17.
See what they can take advantage of it.
Cochran. He's got Como this time. Very, very close to another first down. Gain of 10, 2nd and inches. Cochran in the gun this time.
The slant
Throws it
open. There
in
it
the
is.
middle. That's incomplete. Como was there, but good coverage by Mexico City. Couldn't quite seal the deal.
Thought that was a touchdown.
It was looking good there for a hot second. I'm not. Oh, man. That was just
yeah.
good closing speed by Zamora.
Yeah, it was. He jumped in front of it. You want to keep the defender from jumping in front of your body. Oh, I'm sorry, what they call crossing your body. That's always dangerous.
Well, and we saw that on the pick six going the other way as well on the last drive. Offset I formation on his 3rd and inches here. Cochran takes a snap. Pressure's coming. He's going to get it out, and he's got J.W. Doyle. Doyle's going to get in the down Alaska.
Yeah. Mexico City, they had everyone inside the red zone. I'm sorry, inside the end zone. Person that was back there was actually guy responsible for covering Doyle, and he got called the quarterback.
Well, and guess who that was? That was Fran Ogawa there, and he was just eyeballing the quarterback, trying to see if he can get another nice pick six going the other way, maybe a little bit longer one.
Yeah, it looks like he may have passed him off in zone, thinking he had help behind him, but he did not. I'm not sure if there was confusion. Have you? But you saw him push him off to the next defender, but unfortunately there was no one behind him.
A little bit of a bad snap there. Gets it up and through. 31-13 now the score, as Alaska will almost certainly go for an onside kick. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. It certainly looked like a busted coverage of some type there, which caused Alaska to finally get in the end zone for the first time this evening.
All hands team on the field. We'll see what happens here.
Magic can happen. We never know. Dahoud gets a good pop there, but right into the hands of the Aztecs, and that's an easy one there for Mexico City, as they will field it at the 45-yard line and take over from there.
Yeah, typically, if you're Alaska, to go to that side of the field where he has less help blocking down for him, but he was able to get a clean grab on that one and secure that.
Offset I formation. Mexico City going to be content just running the clock out here as Ray Bentley gets a handoff, follows blockers, and towards the far end of the field as we get a look at his numbers on the ground, 66 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he doesn't have really many explosive plays, but he does just enough to keep the chains moving today.
And, we talked about this. Honestly, Mexico City just did what they needed to do in order to win the football game. Like, they were just seeing what was on the field in front of them, and they just exploited what they saw. They didn't necessarily need to do anything too cute or too fun or anything like that. Screen passes aren't the most exciting thing on the planet, as we see Bentley gobbled up in the backfield. But, hey, it worked, and it's going to give them the victory tonight.
It did. Alaska was playing a deep ball all game. It's like their defenders were playing the sticks and everything beyond it. And meanwhile, to take the shorter passes, they didn't really throw. I think maybe just a couple of intermediate routes today.
3rd and 8 now, as this will probably be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Hand off to Bentley, who gets gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage. Didn't really expect anything different there as Big Sexy and company gobble him up. And we hit the 2-minute warning, 4th and 8 upcoming for the Aztecs as the Storm will get the ball back. And it's a 31-13 score in favor of the Aztecs. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We're live on Twitch. And I want to give a shout out to the rest of our sponsors here. Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help hashtag secure the bag. We are also sponsored in part by ScoreStream, official live scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, custom esports jerseys and apparel, and the exclusive SFL shop provider. And by Spygo, dedicated to the craft of audio. As Mexico City can literally do no wrong as they get the punt down inside the 5, right at the 1-yard line. So a tall task for the Storm to even get 3 points on the board, let alone another 7.
You know what? I'm not exactly sure what the rule is, but he actually ran in the end zone and came back with the first person to touch the ball. The penalty or not?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's for the end zone. And there's a safety right there. Mexico City just is pouring it on. Now up 20 as they nail him in the end zone. I think that's just for the sidelines. Like if you come out of bounds on your own accord and then come back in, you're the first guy to touch the ball. I don't know if that has anything to do with the end zone. I could be wrong. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't know.
I don't know either. I have to do some research and check on that.
But man, we got a safety. We've got just an impressive showing by Mexico City today as they boot the free kick down the field, taken out to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that safety was just icing on the cake.
I'm getting this from headquarters, and this is another just kind of wow stat. The Alaska Storm has not lost 2 games in a row since season 10.
I was just going to ask, when was the last time? But thanks for that clarification.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Mike Daggs there from headquarters getting us that info in there. Because that's another wow stat. That's something that's just like, really? Like, there's no way. As Ray Bentley, actually, no, the backups are in the game now. Alaska is calling their second timeout with 1 remaining. It's just one of those stats that are just kind of like, there's no way.
Since season 10, you said? Wow,
season
that
10.
Is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And that just goes to show the dominance that the Storm have really held on the SFL. I mean, they're almost a shoo-in every year or every season for the playoffs just because of how well they play.
Consistency like that, you have to thank not only just the players, but the GM, offensive and defensive coordinators, the owner, everyone. just to keeping this team together, making the right moves in the offseason, the build of the team. It all comes to play. Anytime you can run off a stat like that, there's a lot of people you have to thank.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And I know that you've talked to Max Paul several different times. I know I have as well. And the man knows football, so
He does.
it is hard to beat a guy like that that just knows what he's doing. As Mexico City content to just take some knees here and get out of here with the victory. Uh, just a really good game that we've seen here today. Great game plan by Mexico City and took it to the champs today.
They did. They impressed the home crowd. They came in here. They got here early. They were out in the parking lot, tailgating at the crack of dawn, and they really supported them. Dominating win over the defending champions.
And that's that's the way to do it, man. Is just tailgate at the crack of dawn and just do it all day, man.
That's right.
Another kneel down here, and that'll pretty much do it from Mexico City. And again, don't forget we got more SFL football to come on the series of 11 Sports Network. Excuse me, as I get my bearings here.
Looking forward to that Tallahassee Denver game tomorrow. That's going to be, I think, an instant classic.
That is going to be the fan night game of the week, called by none other than Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson, live on the 11 Sports Network. That going to be Monday night, tonight. No, excuse me, tomorrow night. Good grief. I'm just getting all sorts of discombobulated here. Tomorrow night, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. That's going to be the fan night game of the week. We've got Charleston and Las Vegas coming up on Tuesday night as well, along with Chicago and San Francisco, 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern. And then we also have a couple of games coming up here. We've got one tonight. Your commissioner, Cameron Irvine, the nightcap, 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, live on 11 Sports Network, along with Charles Doherty, Queen City and Oklahoma City. That'll be a good one.
Tons of SFL action.
We've got so many, man. I feel like I'm just I'm getting tired of hearing my own voice here, as I'm just rattling off the great games that we've got coming up here. But yeah, absolutely. Stay tuned. 11 Sports Network and 11 Sports Next, they're going to be carrying our broadcast from here on out, unless otherwise specified in the Discord channel. So be sure to stay tuned for that. 33-13, your final score here from Estadio Azteca. Any final thoughts before we let the people go here?
Again, just a dominating performance by Mexico City. They came in here. The offensive line, as I said before, they deserve a game ball. They gave him all the protection he needed. The defense, as you see the pick six there, everyone stepped up. It was a total team effort. Even the kicker with the good field position that he constantly provided his team with those deep kickoffs, the hang time from the punter, everyone showed up tonight. It was a total team effort. But as you said, do not count Alaska out. It's a young season. We're only a few games in. They're going to bounce back and show the world why they're the defending three-time champions. And I'm just looking forward to see how both teams move from this point forward through the rest of the season.
100% agree with you there. Definitely look out for the Storm, who sit at 2-2. Again, first time that they've lost back-to-back games in 3 seasons. You know how long ago it was? The Vaqueros, the San Antonio Vaqueros, who are now the Denver Nightwings, beat them 26-19. As we get a look at our player of the game here, Ray Bentley, 18 carries, 65 yards and a touchdown, along with 75 yards in the air and a receiving touchdown. Certainly hats off to the Hall of Famer. On behalf of the Hall of Famer, Eddie Gage, I am Eric Vincent. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this presentation of the Simulation Football League live on Twitch. Again, be sure to stay tuned to all of our upcoming broadcasts on the 11 Sports Networks. Good night from Mexico City.
Good night, everybody.